4 years ago, I was working as a diabetes educator. I was married, I had 4 beautiful children. I knew someday I was going to return to school to get my BSN, but I figured I'd wait till my kids were a little older. On a random Tuesday in June, I was 42 years old when I was told I had breast cancer. This diagnosis not only derailed my career plans, but it derailed my entire life. Over the course of the next year, I endured 8 surgeries, 8 rounds of chemotherapy, 33 rounds of radiation, and I was off work for a total of 8 months. When I was finally able to return to work, my organization had achieved magnet status, my department had been realigned under a new director, nurses were being encouraged to get their BSN, and new hires were being mandated to get theirs. I had worked for my organization for 20 years before I was diagnosed with cancer. To my surprise, shortly after returning to work, I was offered a lead position within my department. As a leader, I was compelled to support the organization by obtaining my BSN. But I was concerned about returning to school. I had mounting medical bills, we'd had a reduction in income while I was off work, and in addition, my oldest child herself would be heading off to college in just 3 short years. I really needed an affordable option if I was going to continue my education. My director suggested that I look at WGU. She said they had an excellent reputation. As I began my first course towards my BSN, I was intrigued. I began learning and thinking about things in new and different ways. As I journeyed through the courses, I learned so many things that were directly applicable to my current role. It was as though pieces of the puzzle were coming together and I was finally seeing the full picture of nursing. The more I learned, the more I fell in love with nursing all over again. I was able to complete my BSN in just 2 terms. As I passed the final course and I received my diploma, I was so happy. I felt that I had really accomplished something great. I started sharing my experience with my coworkers, and I hoped that they too would return to complete their BSN. The rewarding feeling of accomplishment was so worth the effort and the time that it took to complete it. My experience with WGU was invaluable, and it only took 1 month for me to decide that I wanted to continue my education further. Since WGU offers an MSN program, there was no question as to where I would go to complete that degree. As I began my next journey, I was greeted with one of the kindest program mentors. Her name was Cindy Emily. She was so encouraging and so helpful. Her phone calls and her emails kept me on track. She was able to provide insight and encouragement along the way. As I entered my final 5 courses, I was assigned to Robert Trenholm for my course instructor. It was no surprise that he too was very helpful. He broke down my last 5 courses into manageable and understandable tasks. I always looked forward to my conversations with him because I knew he was going to get me started on the right foot. When I spoke with him regarding the final task, I was a little emotional when I hung up the phone. It is truly amazing that 2 people whom I've never met in person played such a key role in helping me achieve one of the greatest accomplishments of my life, my MSN. When I passed the final capstone, I cried. There were tears of joy, pride, accomplishment, and of course relief. It felt as if I had finally completed my last leg of my cancer journey and I'd driven in that last stake. I sent a text to my family that read, "MSN, take that, cancer." With the completion of this degree came closure to a very long journey. I am so thankful for the support of my husband, my children, my parents, my sister. They supported me through cancer, and they continued to support me as I returned to school. They made this achievement possible every single day. As I reflect on my undergraduate work many years ago, when there was no email and no internet to support my education, I realized that the technology and the capabilities available to students today are truly amazing. Today, Americans are now adjusting to a new world in the wake of the pandemic. Schools across the country have closed. students and teachers have been catapulted into online learning formats. Moving forward, this may have to become our new norm. WGU has already paved the way for other schools to follow in their footsteps by creating new online communities. To be able to access high-quality education from home is such a blessing for an adult who is trying to balance family, home, career. As an added bonus, the affordability and design of WGU's programs allowed me to accomplish my dream without adding mounds of additional debt when I was battling back from cancer and I prepared to send my oldest to college. Thanks to my amazing healthcare team, I stand here today cancer-free. Thanks to WGU, I was able to accomplish my goal and achieve not only my BSN, but also my MSN. Lastly, thanks to my mentor, my course instructors, my friends, my family. You helped me pace myself, stay on track, stay grounded, and take back my life. Thank you.